What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. My sweetheart, I'm back. The queen is back. Queen Maya is back again. So today, I'll be talking about my story. But before that, can you all see my makeup? I have tried to create a typical Indian peacock princess look. I don't know how it is, but it really feels beautiful. Look at the shine on my lips. So, back to the story, back to the real story about my hormone replacement journey and the challenges I've faced so far accessing hormones being a transgender girl in India. It's been about 6 months since my hormone replacement journey of male to female, and to be honest with you all, it was not at all easy accessing hormones as a transgender girl in India despite having parental support. So I started transitioning when I was, how much? I guess 19 plus, almost 6 months ago. Did I just tell my age? Don't tell it to anyone. Never ask or never tell a lady's age to anyone. So it is what it is. Where do I begin with? Yeah. So initially, when I was in 12, I was about 18 years old. I visited one of the best known clinics of India there, which is, I'm not going to say the name, but it starts with A and it is in Chennai. If you are from Chennai or you are from India, you know which clinic I'm talking about. So I basically visited one of the top endocrinologists there. Mind you, I already had a GI certificate. Here in my state, I got the certificate. So with that certificate, I visited the endocrinologist, and after doing 3 to 4 blood tests, which are the baseline tests, as you girlies know, it took about 2 to 3 days to complete those tests. And after that, the doctor, he prescribed me the, what to say, well, the 80s treatment, 80s regimen, 70s, 80s regimen, which is no longer relevant and is highly risky. If you are M2F woman, you know which regimen I'm talking about. It's basically a dose of primarine or conjugated estrogen, and I was prescribed aldactone along with it. Initially, I didn't know about hormones and stuff, and mind you very carefully, I also did not have Reddit back then. So I just trusted the doctor, as he's one of the most renowned ones, especially in India, and especially from the endocrinologist society, whatever it is. So I trusted him. What am I saying? Yeah. So that's how the story went. But I was a bit skeptical about his consultations and his prescriptions and all. So I did my own research, and that's when I came to know about Reddit and all, and what dose works now and what dose is harmful. And I was shocked to know that primarine or conjugated, whatever it is, estrogens are no longer prescribed for transsexual women. So how can a doctor having such and such position in the Endocrinologist Society of India prescribe such outdated hormones to me? That's when I became skeptical about him, and I no longer visited him, no further consultations, follow-ups and all. Though he said to give a consultation after 6 months or so, I guess. But according to the guidelines, if I remember, it should be after 3 months. So yeah, it just happened. And yep, there's another story in that incident. So when I first visited him, I was with my father. My father managed everything. So what he told me initially was, you do have a psychiatrist certificate, but you still need to get another psychiatrist certificate, and you need to visit this and this plastic surgeon and all. And I was like, okay, maybe this is how it works here. So I listened to him and visited another psychiatrist there. So she was very kind lady. If you're watching this, I love you. You have been really kind to me, and it really meant a lot. It means a lot. So I visited the psychiatrist. The lady doctor gave me another prescription of gender incongruence, as it is told now. Yep, as it is told now. So I got a GI certificate, and then I visited a plastic surgeon, which I don't know if you are going to start HRT. What's the purpose of visiting a plastic surgeon? That's just baffling, you know what I mean? So I just visited the plastic surgeon, and the doctor, he said that this and this patient M2F is interested for gender reassignment surgeries, so you can prescribe HRT now. I was like, duh, I was skeptical. And they were like, you know, how would I say? They were like pushing me towards it without like explaining things. The plastic surgeon was like, no worries, I got you. You will stay here for 1 month. You will get your breast done, your vajayjay done. Yep. And you will also get your facial feminization done here. No worries. It just costs around 11 lakhs. That's what he said. I was like, 11 lakhs? something is wrong, because as far as I knew, the maximum cost would be around 5 lakhs in India, if I have to say, on an average scale, considering your breast augmentation and gender reassignment. And now I've heard that the government is giving free gender reassignment schemes for transgender people, but it's in some hospitals, not all, so it is what it is. I trusted them. Turns out I got exploited. Yep, you're right. So what happened then was, I did my own research, and after finding out that Primarine is no longer prescribed due to its higher chances of DVT, I just did not start my hormones, and I went back to the spirals of gender incongruence, gender dysphoria, anxiety, stress, and all that shit again. And for that reason, my 12th board exams did not go quite well as I expected. But again, it is what it is. And then comes the chapter 2 of me looking up for endocrinologists for my HRT. So this time, what I did was, I looked up to one of the best endocrinologists in my state. And y'all don't ask my state here in the comments right now, first listen to me. So it was worse than the before. After consulting him, that shithead of a doctor, despite having no knowledge about transgender healthcare, told me that maybe you are confused and you need to meditate. You need to do vipassana, which is a kind of meditation or whatever. And that's what exactly he told me. So, as a trans girl, I don't know what's more disgusting than this, than to hear such and such words by a specialist who is holding a place. And it's shocking. It was a kind of conversation therapy that he did to me. So I'm very glad I had supportive family. My father was very supportive. He still is. So he just didn't believe that doctor. He was also skeptical about it. And I was lost because I did not have any hope back then. Because if a doctor holding such position is telling you to meditate and then it will go on, you will just get rid of it. If he says such things, then how are you going to feel? You will feel that something is wrong with you. Obviously you will feel, because I had no trans friends. I still have no trans friends personally to begin with. So if any other trans person was in my place, they would have believed and ended up questioning themselves, which is wrong on so many levels. So what then happened was, again, I went into depression and all that, all those feelings of, basic gender incongruence. Yeah, all those feelings of gender incongruence just came back. I was somehow like, I was not boy moding, TBH. I was like going to school and then coming home and doing makeup and stuff, and that was my life. I mean, it was it. When people were roaming around enjoying their lives, I was just going to school with full face of makeup and foundation, coming back at home and crying all day. Why? Because a shithead of a doctor told that it's a phase, it will go on once you meditate. So that's what happened, and that's how the chapter 2 of me accessing my hormones ended. So, and if you're a transgender person watching this, know that it's not hard. I got you. Your sister's here for you. So what you do need to do is uh, just Google it up, alright, and search for the best doctors that you can find. Talk with your friends who are trans and are undergoing HRT, and I hope you will get a real good doctor who specializes in this field. So, back to my journey. Now another chapter started. Chapter 2 ended horribly, and now chapter 3 of my HRT diaries had started. So I looked up to Transgender India websites, which is one of the well-known websites for trans people in India. There I found one endocrinologist. He's very well known in the trans community in India. Let me remind you. So I did some research and I visited physically, not online consultations or anything. I physically visited that doctor with my father. So after visiting, I did not need any more GI certificates and all. I just had a 15 to 20 minutes conversation with him at his chamber, and he basically prescribed me with the starting minimal dose of HRT, which was, I think, about 25 milligrams of aldactone and 2 milligrams of progenuva, the bioidentical estradiol. So I was like going on with it and all, but it was too less. I just googled it up and put it on Reddit and found out that the starting dose, considering that all of my other profiles of blood work are okay, was too less. So I couldn't wait anymore. I did a second consultation within a month without doing a 3-month gap, and got prescribed a bit high of a dose. So yeah, so, and that's how I went by with a higher dose of about, I think, 50 milligram of spironolactone and 4 milligram of progenova, which was like 2 into 2 milligram a day. But mind you, very carefully, I did not know a lot about HRT, about pills, about injections, about the excuse me, about the half shell life, half shell life of pills, that they work for 12 hours and after that they don't work well, and its effects on liver and kidney and all. I didn't know that. I just I think I did all the steps following the guidelines of that doctor, and my estradiol or estrogen, as you say it ended up being on the cis female range, and then um, I thought that since my estradiol was in cis female range, my testosterone was considerably reduced. But I was wrong. After doing the 3 months test, I did another test prior to 6 months and found out that my testosterone was very high. In fact, just the same as before. It was about 650 ngdl. I think it was something like that, which is like very high, which is just basically a cis biological male range. But my estradiol was okay. So that's when things started to turn into questions. His practices started to become questionable to me, and that doctor wouldn't prescribe me anything like out of the guidelines of WPATH or whatever I think it is. And I just knew that I need to do my own work. I need to become a self-made woman. So I started doing DIY. And mind you very carefully, if only the HRT that your doctor, trusted doctor, prescribes you works for you, then it works for you. If only it doesn't, then do DIY very carefully, gathering all the knowledge without half knowledge stuff, because it can be risky sometimes. DVTs, lungs, kidneys becoming harmed in the process, your cardiovascular diseases, and there are a lot of crazy stuff out there if you are going to DIY without knowledge. So I did some research by talking to my trans friends, and Reddit helped me a lot. Reddit DIY trans, if you know it, you know it. It helped me a lot. So it's been about, I would say, 10 to 15 days since I started to do DIY, and I feel better than before. So in conclusion, I would like to say that people are exploitative. They are after your money. They are after their ego. They are after their status quo maintenance, whatever that shit is. They don't care about your feelings. Whether you are cis man, trans woman, cis woman, trans man, whatever it is. Here in India, mostly, for them, it's the thing they are getting, not what you are getting. So I would say that do some research before consulting a doctor, and after consulting him or her, do your own research and just listen to your heart. You know what I mean? Listen to your heart. I listened to my heart, and it turned out that I was not wrong starting DIY. So right now I am in 50 milligrams of electron 2 times a day and 6 milligrams of progenova with 5 milligrams of finasteride. So fingers crossed. I'm hoping that this works, and if it doesn't, I might increase the dosages. So being trans and accessing healthcare, especially HRT, despite having all the support and background and financial stability, here in India, it's not easy. I urge the government to look after it very carefully, because where is the fund going? Where are the votes going? We are voting for you. Do something for us. And yep, it's crazy, but it's the ground reality. And that's how it is. Right now, I'm doing great, feeling great about myself, and I will be doing blood works very soon. And I just hope it works for me. And that was my story of starting hormone replacement therapy as a male to female, Indian transsexual female. So if you liked this video, let me know in the comments section below, and like, share, subscribe, all the formal stuff that you know about YouTube, and let me know if I should be coming up with other stories of my other experiences that I have had. And that's it. We are meeting very soon, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Take care. Bye bye.